Hey everybody, welcome to Daisy Case Primitives. Today is Friday, October 13th, 2023, and this is FlossTube number 57. My name is Christy, and this is my channel on YouTube where I talk about my cross stitch or I share some decorating videos. And today's video is going to be about my cross stitch, so it's a floss tube. Thanks to everybody that watched my last video, which was of my autumn house decorations, using my stitching and all the little things that I've collected over time. Thank you so much to everyone that has watched that and left such great comments. I have some finishes, some whips. I don't know. I don't know what else here. So I just kind of piled it up here. So I'm just going to try to sort through this and we'll get going. So the first one I have to share with you is my FFO of Sarah Hook, 1824 from Carriage House Samplings. At the first of the year, I had these grandiose plans of a stitching rotation where each day of the week I would stitch on something specific. And Tuesdays were my days that I would work on Tombstone Angels. And that rotation plan worked pretty well until about June. And that's when I kind of got sidetracked big time with patriotic stitching, and summer just got really busy for us. So anyway, this is my finish of Sarah Hook, and this is a board that the husband and I cut out. I kind of traced out the shape that I wanted, and he cut it for me. And then I sanded it and painted it. I painted it black, and then I just took some gray paint and kind of put just a rough edge there where I knew I placed this on the board, and I traced around it to know where it was going to be positioned on the board. And then I went ahead and painted around it, put these little doodads up there. I kind of wanted to mimic somewhat what the frame looked like on the model stitch, and this is what we came up with. It's a nice size. This is probably a 1x2, a 1x12. I think it's 12 inches wide. But anyway, and I have this. This was showed in my decorating video on the dry sink. And I just place it on a little plate rack. So I just distressed it and then went over it with some brown shoe polish, actually. Brown shoe polish works just as well as the waxes that you buy. So that was finish number one. Try not to be too noisy. Let me see here. Another one of my stitching plans for the year was to stitch fall on Fridays, and Cornelia Crow, this is not a real great photo. It's from Not Forgotten Farm. Let's see, I need to go back and tell some details about that. But anyway, Lori Breckland's Cornelia Crow, Not Forgotten Farm. I stitched this on 36 count Shiloh from Needle and Flax. I omitted, you'll see, it's hard to tell, but she has Cornelia Crow initials CC on either side of her head. I omitted those. I used all the called for flosses, except I chose to use Gentle Arts Toffee. Yes, Gentle Art Toffee for her dress, because I wanted to get a little bit of variegation, a little bit of movement in her dress. So here should be a C, and here should be a C, and I just left those out. So cute. She has a partner, and his name is Reginald Raven, and I just have not gotten around to stitching him, but he's in the folder for a someday stitch. So I'm really pleased with how she turned out. I really love her. And if I can remember, I'll pop in a photo here somewhere, how I have her displayed with a couple other pieces that I've stitched that are crow related. So really cute. Reminds me of the, what is it? Ida Mae, the Good Housewife pair is Ida Mae. I can't think of their names. But because I couldn't get my hands on that chart, this one is just as cute. And you can still get this from Not Forgotten Farm. Love it. All right, the next one, well, let's see, let's go backwards here in case you want to know about the details of this one. I wrote on the back. I used 36 count Tobias, which is a Seraphim Fabrics, and I used the called for DMC flosses. And I love it on this fabric. So that are the particulars on that one. Next one, I did this some time back, and this is from Plum Street Samplers. It's called Primitive Mood Keep. And I stitched this one, and it says, Today blessings to thee. And then the one here at the bottom, which is another part of the pattern that you're supposed to stitch to put on the back side or either side, and it says, Pox upon thee. Today, pox upon thee. Well, I didn't decide to, I didn't stitch that. I wanted blessings. So I chose this section. And here is mine. It's kind of plopped in this frame. I don't have it all situated yet, but here's my finish. Now, let me see. I don't even have the details as to what I stitched this on. I think all the particulars about this stitch are on my Instagram. And I know that I changed up a little bit here. The center part of the star where it looks like a square, I filled that in with the same color, I believe, that the flower buds are, but everything else is pretty much true, although I say that. There's supposed to be a key down here under the blessing. I had left that out and just put a bud in place. And I think that's it. I think that's all I changed, but I really like this. Very pretty. I got this frame from Art to Frames. Yes, Art to Frames online. I really like them. You can choose what, oops, sorry for the terrible glare. You can choose the different types of glass that you want. Also, you can choose the mat board, and they have really great service. I've had really great luck with them every time I've ever purchased any frames. So, and they ship fairly fast. Custom make them and ship pretty quickly. So that was another finish. One here, it's first on top, is my Margaret Cottam from Lottie Da. Another sweet stitching friend is loaning this to me. I've wanted to stitch this for a long time. This came out in 3 parts, and this is part 1. And here's where I am. And I got it all done. Part 1 is finished. I moved down the border here just a little bit further, but the pattern pretty much repeats itself. Now, what is this stitched on? Let's see. Do I have it in here? No, I don't. I think this is a piece of colonial sampler from Victorian Mottos, I believe. And I'm using all the called for threads. And this is what they look like. They look like a mess right now, but this is all of them. I really love this kind of a pinky red, and it is baked apple, Weeks baked apple. But I've admired this little sampler for quite a while, and I'm so thankful to be able to stitch it. So thank you so much for making my little stitching wishes come true. Thank you. So there is that. Next one, or not in any real order. The warm weather's kind of winding down and things are slowing down outside, and we've pretty much got all of our projects caught up that we're trying to get done this season, having nice weather, but the list is long. It's always going to be long, I'm afraid. Next one, Black Water Hollow Sampler by Stacy Nash. I really like this one. I haven't seen many stitch it. At the bottom here, I'm going to make a couple of changes. At the very bottom, the wording Blackwater Hollow in the year 1759 is down there. I'm going to omit that, and there's some initials. There's an initials here and initials here, and I'm not sure what I'm going to do in place of those, if I'll even stitch them. And this is on a piece of 36 count Hemingway, I believe. Let me get my notes here. Yes, 36 count Hemingway by Needle and Flax. And where are the flosses at? Here are all the flosses. And this is where I'm at now. Making quite a bit of progress. Once I got the flower, the big pot at the bottom, and I messed up on my pot. That's another thing I changed. I messed up on the pot. It's supposed to only have like 3 legs on it, and I went ahead and added a 4th leg to kind of, because I had to even it out. It's not going to affect the layout of the remainder of the stitch, but so once I got the big pot and the flowers done in it, everything else is kind of moving along pretty quickly. I really love this. Great colors for fall. Can't go wrong with Stacy Nash anytime. So that one, that was a whip. Plans, I'm not even gonna make plans anymore because they don't happen. But I have pulled this out. I will be starting working on this again, and this is, I always get it wrong. I always get it wrong. This is Grateful, Thankful, Blessed by Brenda Gervais. I'm bound and determined this one's going to get finished this year. I don't know, but it will be finished. And this is on a piece of 36 count Hemingway again, I think. You can tell I'm not very prepared. What else is new? Let's see. Yes, 36 count Hemingway. And I am making some changes on the border. I've changed some of the border color. I'm changing my wording. I'm going to use, you can see I started out using the called for with the U and the L, and you can't see it. I want to be able to read it at a distance, so I'm using Classic Color Works, almost auburn for the lettering. That'll be throughout. The pumpkin, I'm still working on deciding. That's been stitched in 3 different whites, but I think I'm going to go with this one that's below this stem that's coming up through there, the bottom section there. And that's DNC 712. And the roof, I used Classic Color Works Wilderness, and the border color, I think I used, it's hard to see, but it's just a straight line outline. And I used Tea Biscuits, Classic Color Works Tea Biscuits on that. I think I'm going to keep it there. I don't know. It gets washed out and you can't really see it. So that might get adjusted too. I may go with a darker border. But so I pulled this one out that I want to work on. Keyword want to. Will I? We'll see. We'll see in the future. And here are all the floss colors. All rattied up. Awesome. Fall colors. Looks really great on this linen. I know it's upside down, but you can kind of get an idea of what, or the linen is sideways, but you can get the idea of what all the pretty flosses look like with that Hemingway. Hemingway is a beautiful fabric. I think it is, it's one of my favorites that Rachel dyes. Stacy Nash, Turkey Hollow Farm. I got a really good start on this last season. And I'm sorry, I don't know where. I usually keep a paper with the details about what I'm stitching on. This is 36 count sand dunes from Seraphim. And this is how much I've gotten done on it. It started with the wording here, Turkey Hollow, and my flosses, I'm afraid that dark floss that the wording is done is going to get lost. I want to be able to read that. And I really like the color in the placket, the sign placket. So I may have to darken the wording up. And I think the floss is the same color as the roof that I used. You'd think it'd be plenty dark, but so that will be an adjustment that I make. I really love that border. Classic Stacy Nash. I have to finish the beak on this turkey and on that rooster. Got started on the man's hat, the farmer's hat over here. But another one that I want to work on for the season, because I'm kind of getting into the fall stitching. And normally by this time, Christmas stitching is on my mind, normally. But not this year. I don't know, I guess I've just been so busy with other projects, being busy outside, that my stitching just hasn't been as much of a priority. There's some linen that I just recently purchased. I was watching Catherine Stitching in Costume, and she shared recently some linen, and it was a good reminder that it's hard to tell from colors online what linen looks like. And in the past, I've shared a couple of times different linens that I've bought just to kind of reference, because it's hard to tell online, and it's harder on here too, but I think it's a little better, easier to tell colors this way. So this is a piece of Mad Hatter's Tea Towel from Dames of the Needle. A nice neutral. This one is from Be Stitch Me, and it is called One More Reproduction. I really like this one. Nice dark tan, lots of modeling. like that. So to kind of compare the two. This one is Fabrics by Stephanie, Colonial Parchment. Another nice neutral. I like the modeling in this one. This one is Needle Bling Designs, and it is heirloom. It's heavier linen. It's more heavy, like maybe more like Picture This Plus, but it's still fairly light, not a lot of modeling. I mean, you can tell it's kind of a creamy, lighter color. This one I've been hearing a lot about Tropical Stitches, and this is Platina. I really like this one too. And these are all 36 count. Look at that. Look at the modeling in that. That's so pretty. Really like the texture. All Zweigart based, I'm pretty sure. Not sure about the Fabrics by Stephanie Colonial Parchment. I think it is Zweigart, but the rest are too. Yep. And the last piece that I got, I was curious about this color. It is Grace Notes Fabrics Oh John. I thought it would be really good for Halloween. It's kind of like a dark mossy green. Pretty neat. I wanted to make a mention of some floss tubers that I've been watching lately. Some are new. Let's see, new to me would be Just Sew Sherry, Sew S-E-W, Sherry, S-H-E-R-R-I-E. Bumbleberry Stitches. Hoop It Up with Jan. I thought that one was cute. And Willie Sheep's Stitcher. She's done floss tubes in the past, but she's come back after a while. And then some that have been around for some time, but I love watching them. Lori from Mischievous Stitches, and Ms. Marlene, Such a Blessing, Stitching by the Lake. Love her channel. And I want to give a big thank you to Bridget Swindle of Bridget's Primitive Passion. She did a video recently of her samplers, and she gave me a big shout out in her video, and I was just so flattered and surprised to hear my name mentioned. So Bridget, if you're watching, thank you so much. I appreciate that. I love your channel. I love all that you bring to us on a consistent basis. Thank you to all those that share their homes with us all. I just really enjoy your channel so much. There's none quite like you, so I appreciate you. Thank you so much. That's all that I have for you today. Thank you once again for stopping by and spending time with me, catching up with me, seeing what I've been doing. And hopefully I can get back on a better regular routine here before long, since things seem to be calming down a little bit. And until I see you next time, I hope that your needle and thread and fabric bring you much joy and much peace in this crazy world and crazy time in which we live. So until next time, take care.